Welcome to the podcast. If you enjoy this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. The title of today's episode, at first glance, might seem like a relic of the past, but in reality, it still holds true. Today, we are going to explore ways to earn money more effectively. Let's begin by examining a common way of earning money that has persisted in our society for generations: the pursuit of a steady monthly paycheck. From a young age, we've been instilled with the idea that studying hard is essential to secure a stable career after graduation, a belief reinforced by our families, schools, and society. This notion has become so ingrained that we often accept it without question. We dedicate ourselves to our studies, aiming to get into a good college, graduate with a degree, and then apply for jobs. And so we end up working, receiving a paycheck every month, and this cycle continues, potentially for our entire lives. However, a closer analysis reveals that this path is far from secure or even safe. It is, in fact, quite risky. The problem lies in the fact that this mindset establishes a singular goal: to study hard solely for the purpose of obtaining a stable job, a stable income, and ultimately a stable life. This emphasis on stability creates a false sense of security. While a steady job may appear to offer safety, it can also lead to a life lacking in quality and vulnerable to unexpected changes. Consider the analogy of an ox. Owners rely on their oxen to diligently perform their assigned task of plowing the field. They restrict the ox's freedom because they fear it would escape if given the chance. And so, the ox's life is carefully controlled. It receives just enough food and a minimal amount of pleasure to ensure it remains content with its routine. It simply exists until the end of its life. All it has is enough to make it forget its dreams and passions, its desire to do what it truly wants. This situation parallels the lives of many who prioritize a steady paycheck above all else. We often find ourselves tethered to jobs that may not bring us joy, trapped in a cycle of working to make ends meet. We sacrifice our passions and dreams for the perceived security of a paycheck, leaving us feeling unfulfilled and vulnerable to financial instability. This is the very reason why I call it a life lacking in quality and security. The key issue with this approach is that it prioritizes a steady income above all else, neglecting other crucial aspects of a fulfilling life. People sacrifice their passions, dreams, and freedom for the illusion of stability, often finding themselves trapped in unsatisfying jobs with limited prospects for personal growth and happiness. To summarize, this mindset equates financial security with having a steady monthly paycheck, disregarding the fact that true financial well-being requires more than just a regular income. It requires a sense of control over one's finances, the ability to pursue opportunities for growth, and the freedom to make choices that align with one's values and aspirations. This brings us to a crucial question. What alternative paths can we take to secure our financial future and earn money more effectively? The answer might seem obvious, but it often requires a shift in perspective. We must embrace the path of investing and equip ourselves with the knowledge and skills to navigate the world of financial markets. Now, some of you might think that this episode is just a marketing ploy for my investing course. But let me assure you that's not the case. My course focuses primarily on passive investing strategies rather than the analysis of individual companies. As you listen further, you'll see that the information shared in this episode is quite distinct from the content of my course. Returning to the topic of investing, you may be wondering why I advocate for investing over the traditional path of seeking a stable job. Firstly, it's important to clarify that I'm not advising anyone to quit their jobs immediately to pursue investing. Instead, I'm proposing a parallel approach: to continue working while simultaneously dedicating time and effort to understanding and developing your investing skills. The reason is simple. When we work for a paycheck, we exchange our time and energy for money. While we may enjoy our jobs, there is an inherent limitation to this approach. Both time and energy are finite resources. The only way to significantly increase our income in this scenario is to increase the value of each hour we work. However, even if we manage to do so, we remain constrained by the limited amount of time we have available to work each day. For example, imagine your current hourly rate is $20. Even if you work 8 hours a day, your monthly income is limited to $3,200. Even if you worked your way up to a managerial or director position, earning, for example, $100 per hour, your monthly income would still be capped at $16,000 due to time constraints. This highlights the inherent limitations of earning money solely through active employment. Our time is finite, and even with a high hourly rate, our earning potential remains restricted. Our task, then, is to discover alternative ways to earn money that are not dependent on these limited resources. And in my opinion, investing provides such a path. It allows us to leverage our financial resources to generate passive income, thereby breaking free from the constraints of trading our time and energy for a limited income. Let me shift gears for a moment and touch upon a seemingly unrelated topic that actually has strong ties to our discussion. Those who have been following my podcast for a while will know that my primary profession involves advising businesses. And alongside working with large corporations, I also devote a portion of my time to mentoring young entrepreneurs in their early stages of starting a business. One piece of advice I consistently give them is this: if you're starting a business with the sole goal of making money and becoming rich, it's time to reconsider your path. More often than not, starting a business solely for the purpose of making money is unlikely to lead to success. Instead, your primary objective should be to identify a problem that exists in the market, one that has a large enough customer base, and then develop a solution that people are willing to pay for. That is the foundation of a sustainable and profitable business model. This principle applies equally to personal finance. In my professional field, we use the term pain point to refer to a specific problem or challenge that potential customers are facing. This concept is widely used in the business world to identify opportunities for innovation and create products or services that address those pain points. By focusing on solving real problems for a significant number of people, businesses increase their chances of success. So, if you're aiming for financial stability and seeking ways to generate income, it's not about finding a high-paying job. It's about identifying a pain point and creating a solution that the market needs. By doing so, you create value for others and, in turn, generate income for yourself. You don't need to solve a complex, world-changing issue. Sometimes, it's the simplest problems that offer the best business opportunities. Let me illustrate this point with a simple example. Suppose you enjoy playing the guitar. As you play more often, you realize that many people struggle to tune their guitars using traditional methods. Those who do not have the skills or the ear for tuning often find it inconvenient to constantly have a tuner on hand. Now, imagine you create a guitar that comes with a built-in tuner, making the tuning process effortless. By addressing this pain point, you've developed a product that appeals to a specific segment of the guitar-playing population and created a potential revenue stream. Of course, this is a hypothetical example, as many guitars already have built-in tuners. But it serves to highlight how addressing a simple problem can lead to a successful business venture. Here's a more practical example from my own experience. I have a friend who shares my passion for dogs. She initially started breeding dogs as a personal hobby. However, she soon realized that there was a high demand for certain breeds of dogs, but the supply was limited. This presented her with a business opportunity. She began importing dogs to meet this demand and has since established a successful chain of dog breeding businesses. This illustrates how identifying a problem in the market, in this case, the limited supply of certain dog breeds, and offering a solution can lead to significant financial success. These examples demonstrate that generating income doesn't always require extraordinary talent or groundbreaking ideas. It's about identifying problems, big or small, and creating solutions that people are willing to pay for. This approach holds true whether you're starting a business, investing in the stock market, or simply exploring different ways to earn money. The key is to be observant, identify unmet needs, and devise ways to address them. To achieve financial stability, we need to move beyond the traditional model of relying solely on a steady paycheck and embrace the concept of building multiple streams of passive income through investing. This requires a shift in mindset, from prioritizing a steady paycheck to prioritizing financial independence. Instead of simply chasing money, we should focus on creating value, solving problems, and investing in assets that generate income for us. This is the path to true financial freedom, a path that allows us to live a life of purpose and abundance, without being tethered to a job we may not love or constantly worrying about making ends meet. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the podcast. If you found this information valuable, please consider sharing it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insightful episodes on personal finance and business. Have a wonderful evening.